right. Welcome back, everybody. Obviously, there is a lot to talk about here, and I just wanted to give you guys a little bit of a recap if you missed last night's sad attempt at a live show. I kind of wanted to apologize to you guys as well. I think it was just a perfect storm of frustration from the game. I was a little tired as well, and the words just weren't, coming out of me, if you will. I just didn't really know what to say. And about 10 minutes in, plus everything that was going on with the dogs and everything, they were at my door and all that. It was just a lot. And I was just like, you know what? I got to shut this live show down, gather my thoughts, and just go live tomorrow. So that's what we're doing here, everybody. We are going to, obviously kind of recap the very controversial Suns Lakers in season tournament game. We're going to have, we're going to be, listening to some post-game interviews. Also, just a few hours ago, the NBA did say that the call was incorrect, or that it was correct. I apologize. They said the call was correct, which obviously we know it wasn't. We're going to talk about Bradley Beal and his injury update and so much more. So it is going to be a good show, a much better show than yesterday. And again, I know I don't need to apologize to you guys, but I do apologize because you guys know me. I take my content very seriously. I take this YouTube channel seriously, and you guys deserve the absolute best in terms of Suns coverage. And I try to bring you that every day. So I will be better from here on out. I think worst case scenario, if I don't go live after a game, I'll probably just film like a quick little video, upload it. That way you guys know my thoughts and reactions from the game. So stay tuned for that. Also, I am live right now on Instagram as well. And shout out to anybody and everybody who is watching Shout out to anybody who's watching along live on Instagram. I appreciate you. Thank you guys so much. Cool little feature that StreamYard does now is that I can go live on YouTube and on Instagram. So that's pretty cool. Shout out to the Suns Jam Session podcast, by the way. They actually introduced me to that. But anyways, you guys aren't here for that. You guys are here to hear my thoughts on the Phoenix Suns. Real quick, Chantel, appreciate you being here. Says sounding good. I do appreciate that. Let me know if we're looking and sounding good. And shout out to my guy, John, from the Suns Jam Session podcast. He says, never apologize. The Geek Squad loves you. Well, I love you guys. Shout out to the Suns Jam. You guys are amazing. And thank you to everybody that's in here. We got Hey.Zero. We got John Paul. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. And thank you to anybody else who is in here. Lindsay's in here. You guys are awesome. Gambino with the salute and the respect. He says, one man show. Amen to that. All right, y'all. Oh my God. So much to talk about, you guys. By the way, one more thing on the Suns Jam Session podcast. I did listen to their episode last night. It was great. Go check that out because they did a great job of covering it all. And I highly recommend their show. All right. So like I mentioned, I want to say it was like 3 hours ago, the NBA, they came out with like, it feels like they came out with like two different, last 2 minute calls, if you will. And that's what we're going to go over. So I'm sharing an article on Bleacher Report here. And I know it's Bleacher Report. And I actually have to kind of zoom out because that's way too zoomed in. So as you guys can see here, this was written by Joseph Zucker from Bleacher Report. LeBron James, Lakers, controversial timeout versus Suns, correct. NBA's last 2 minute report says. So really the area that we're going to focus on is right here. And hopefully if I highlight it, you guys can see it on the screen a little bit better. Here's what it says. The NBA determined the officials made the correct call when granting LeBron James a timeout with 7.4 seconds remaining in the Los Angeles Lakers 106-103 win over the Phoenix Suns on Tuesday night. But they forgot to write in the Los Angeles Lakers controversial 106-103 win. And this is a quote from the league from the last 2 minute report. And I quote, LA is granted a timeout when Reeves recovers the ball and pins it against his leg before he loses it again. the league said in the official last 2-minute report. The Suns had taken issue with the call, which, by the way, we're gonna dive into that in a minute here, on the floor, because it looked like Austin Reeves had lost possession by the time James signaled for the timeout. And again, you guys have all seen it by now. The article just goes on. We're going to listen to Frank Vogel and everybody later on, but that's pretty much it. But it's not just that. Let me just fix my screen here. There was like sort of a closer look. And as my guy John says, NBA rigged confirmed. You know, it's funny you say that, John, because I used to be so, I guess, blinded and I guess you could say maybe arrogant, if you will, about like, you know, NBA conspiracies and is the NBA rigged and are the referees in it for the money? You know what I mean? And I know the Steve Nash, Robert Horry, Tim Donahue stuff and all that, but I tried to like forget that. That's like the side of sports, specifically basketball, that I tried to cover my eyes and not see. You know what I mean? But as the years go on, especially with how the Phoenix Suns are treated, officiated, you know, it kind of just seems like the NBA is kind of out to get us. I'm starting to really believe it. Although I will say this, the only thing I knew was a conspiracy and was rigged was the NBA draft lottery. You know what I mean? That's always been rigged. That goes way back to like the Patrick Ewing, you know, New York Knicks days, if you will. So, but yeah, I just thought your comment there was interesting. But yeah, definitely rigged. So anyways, Ben, excuse me, not Ben, Dan Wokey, I hope I pronounced your last name right. He posted sort of a couple tweets, or not tweets, screenshots, if you will, of the NBA's last 2-minute report and kind of what they were saying. And I know it's kind of hard to read, but it is here. You know, this is from the NBA, the official NBA. You know, after the live show, I'll try to link it. It kind of goes deeper into like the final minute, if you will. You know, like with Anthony Davis and the contact with Nurkic, and then, you know, the Kevin Durant reach across with LeBron James. And you look here, you know, it just keeps going. I don't know. I just wanted to read that. And it says the last 2-minute report from last night's game is out. Reeves wasn't fouled by Booker. The NBA says LeBron and AD were both fouled, though, the NBA says. So had to kind of get that out of the way first. Don't worry, you guys. We're going to dive into a lot more of this because I have some thoughts on the Suns and how they pretty much just have to be better. Going to try to focus on some of the positives from last night. We're going to hear from Frank Vogel. We're going to hear from Devin Booker. We're going to get a Bradley Beal update, like I mentioned, and a lot more. So strap in, you guys. It's going to be a great show. Shout out to my guy, Roy. Appreciate you being here, man. What's up, Geek? Sorry, haven't been tuning in. In college, pretty busy. Well, I hope college is going well for you, my man. John says, the Suns lost the game. 10 TOs in the first quarter is shit basketball, but it still sucks. Exactly. It's funny you say that, John, because I wrote that down. I was tweeting about that. That's like unacceptable, man. But anyways, we will get to that, I promise. Let me take a sip of my water out of my very sort of festive glass here, if you will, and we'll continue on. Cheers. Delicious. All right, y'all. Hey, shout out to my guy Legends Productions. He recently had a video that blew up, and that's an understatement right there. Congratulations to you and all your success, man. Appreciate you being so cool and chatting it up with me. Keep up the great work on your end, man. Go check out Legend Productions as well on YouTube, Instagram. Makes great content. He was one of the people that also covered the Chris Paul, Scott Foster thing, but most recently the LeBron and Ime Udoka little controversy that happened there. Great content over there. All right. So, kind of like John mentioned earlier, I just want to give my thoughts on the game. Notes that I took last night, which I slightly covered before, you know, my brain just went to mush and then I just lost all focus. But now that I've had time to process everything and sleep on it, it's sort of like John mentioned. 10 turnovers by halftime is unacceptable. And it wasn't just that. It was just the fact that I think the Suns were overpassing. And a lot of those passes were just silly. It kind of seemed like they literally had butter on their fingers because the ball was just slipping out of their hands. But also the Lakers defense was great. And that was something that made me nervous about last year's team. And sort of, even though we're 21 games in, makes me a little nervous about this year's team. Because when teams are focused in and they're locked in and they're making the Suns, kind of scramble on offense, if you will. And you guys know me, I love when the ball zips around. Teams like the Lakers, for example, especially last night, have made it hard to do that when you're the Phoenix Suns. I even said, I was like, they couldn't get into rhythm until maybe the third quarter, which we are going to talk about that third quarter in a little bit. But they were great, as John says. The Lakers defense was phenomenal. And I also noticed that, again, up until about that third quarter, it wasn't that the Suns just weren't making shots. I felt like they weren't taking that many shots. And, they were lucky to be in the game. First off, this probably should have been a blown out. Controversy aside, this game probably should have been a blown out because it really didn't seem like the Suns showed up until after the first half. And again, even though I was only live for like 15 minutes last night, I did mention that. I said, and I've said it so many times. I've said it on this channel. I've said it on the Suns Jam. I've said, I want to see the Suns lock in for at least 40 minutes, have a great first half and have a great second half. Like, is that really too much to ask? I don't know if we've really seen that all season. That makes me kind of nervous. Another thing too, we got killed on the offensive boards last night. And look, I don't know, if someone wants to fact check me, I don't know what our rebounding numbers are this year, but I assume they're probably not very good. The offensive rebounds, second chance points, we just got killed in that category. And again, we were lucky to be in the game. Now, let's kind of get a little positive here for a second. We did have a pretty good third quarter, in my opinion. I believe I think we made like 9 out of 11 shots or something. We're like 9 for 11 at one point. Grayson Allen was a huge contributor to that, by the way. In my personal opinion, he's been fantastic all season long, especially since he kind of got thrown into the starting role. He was hitting the shots. He's aggressive. We all know he can drive to the rim, draw a foul, loves to dunk on people and everything. Grayson Allen's been great. And when it seemed like we needed kind of a spark, Grayson Allen was there. And he went on that third quarter run kind of by himself. Thank you, John, for checking. He says middle of the pack rebounding team. Exactly. That's pretty much what I figured. But again, it was really the offensive rebounds that killed us. And just the Lakers just getting kind of whatever they wanted in a way throughout really the whole game, offensively and defensively, except for when they kind of went ice cold really in the third quarter. I remember, and I think a lot of that was when LeBron and AD were off the court. But, again, this game probably should have been a blowout. Suns were lucky to be back in the game. And that's just where basketball gets confusing sometimes. Also, I saw this highlight was uploaded from Kevin O'Connor from The Ringer. It was around the 5:58 mark of the game. The score was 94-92. Devin Booker had the ball kind of, I believe, on the left side. He passed it to Grayson Allen on the corner. Grayson Allen kind of drove, passed it back to Booker. He drove in, found Nurkic. And before Nurkic even touched the ball, KD was in the corner. And Nurkic just had this beautiful pass to KD. KD made the open three. That was probably the play of the game, and that's kind of sad because that should be like a normal thing the Suns do night in and night out. But that was sort of my positives, if you will, from the game. I'm talking about a good third quarter and then a nice play from Book Grayson, Nurk, and Katie. You know what I mean, though? Like, that's why I keep, like, repeating myself. I'm like, oh, man, like, I want to see the ball zipping around. And, you know, whether we have Bradley Beal, who we're going to talk about later, or we don't have Bradley Beal, we still, I believe we might be a top 10 offense, but, like, we have good offensive players. We have two guys alone that can at least get you 60. Plus, we got, like, Grayson Allen and Eric Gordon, et cetera. Like, offense should not be our problem, no matter how good teams' defenses are. And that was not the case last night, except for in the third quarter. Staying on the positive train before we get into more negatives. Kevin Durant was awesome. If it wasn't for Kevin Durant, we definitely would have gotten blown out. Now, he did have an injury scare. I remember uploading a video of that to my Twitter. I'm hoping and praying that he is okay. Fingers crossed, Kevin Durant. There was actually a couple different injury scares, but one in particular where it looked like he kind of hurt his ankle or his foot. I believe he walked back to the bench and everything, and, you know, obviously stayed in the game. And then he kind of took over after, you know, the apparent injury. And I hope he's okay. But he was awesome. 31 points, 12 for 17 shooting, 7 boards, 4 assists. Did have 5 turnovers, which, you know, have kind of been an issue with him all year, but I don't care, you guys. Kevin Durant has been spectacular for us. You know, this is the reason you trade for a guy like KD, because he is one of the greatest scorers, not only in basketball, but in basketball history. And he's Kevin Durant. You know, he's calm, cool, and collective. You know, he's won championships, played in many countless big games, and he played his heart out. He did his best. If it wasn't for a bad Devin Booker game, if it wasn't for the massive turnovers, if it wasn't for, you know, just a kind of an off night, if you will, for the Suns in general, again, with all credit going to the great Lakers defense, the Suns probably do win this game, controversy or no controversy. The Suns probably win this game if Booker's better, who we're going to talk about in a minute. The Suns probably win this game if they don't turn the ball over a million times. You guys get what I'm saying? Let me take another sip of my water. We got lots more to talk about. Delicious. Gambino says, I'm Kevin Durant. Y'all know who I am. That's great. I love that. Shout out to the Suns Jam, man. My guy John is in here. Again, go subscribe to the Suns Jam Session podcast. They're amazing. He says, our inability to negate offensive rebounds is offensive. Exactly. I agree with you. And John, I'm pretty sure you remember this, man. I was on your show so many times, man, whining and complaining about the Suns being a bad rebounding team last season. And it seems like, you know, we're middle of the pack, but it seems like we're still a bad rebounding team, especially on the offensive end. All right, guys. You know, like we mentioned, Suns had 10 turnovers in the first half. And John, you even tweeted this and you talked about it on your show, but we had like 9 field goals, I believe. You know, stuff like that is unacceptable. And speaking of that, I remember seeing on the graphic at halftime that LeBron and Anthony Davis combined for 34 points and 8 assists at halftime. They were killing us on pick and rolls, second chance points, all that stuff. It was just, you guys know. You guys know. And look, forgive me for getting a little negative here, but the fact that Anthony Davis, who had 16 shot attempts, by the way, I believe I read this on Arizona Sports. Anthony Davis had 16 shot attempts. That was more than Booker and Durant combined at 14. LeBron James had 13, by the way, meaning that one team was far better than the other at limiting a star duo. And I also read on Arizona Sports, the Lakers were like at plus 27. They were ahead 21-8 on the offensive rebounds. You know, turned the ball over 10 times. They only turned the ball over 10 times. And then The rest of the read goes on here saying Phoenix is usually great about winning the free throw battle, but Los Angeles actually got 4 more points there, 21-17. That's how the Lakers win while shooting 37%. And look, I've been hyping up, probably overhyping the Devin Booker MVP talks for a while now. But unfortunately, this is going to be our next segment here. I can't do that after last night's game. And I know that it was just one game, but Devin Booker was not good. And, you know, we do have to talk about the bad. You guys know me. I always keep it positive. I always keep it optimistic. But I can address when Devin Booker had a bad game. NBA One Day, no, I have not talked about Bradley Beal. Yes, I will get to him sooner rather than later, but we still got a little bit to go before we talk about Bradley Beal. But yeah, Devin Booker was not good. Again, you know, this whole show, I've already been live for 22 minutes, which is wild, by the way, but I feel like the whole live show for 22 minutes now has been me complaining about the turnovers. But let's be real. The turnovers have been an issue kind of all season with this team. Frank Vogel hates turnovers, man. I hate turnovers. And when you have 10 in a half, and you had like 7, I believe, in the first quarter, or however many it was, that's just unacceptable. But Devin Booker, look, you know, he's human. You know, players have off nights. I get it. But in a game like this, in the in-season tournament, by the way, which, yes, I am wearing the same shirt and hat that I did last night. In a game like the in-season tournament that has playoff vibes, he needs to be better. And he wasn't better. You know, it's just being better in games like this. He was 6 for 16 from the field, 21 points, 11 boards, 6 assists, but he had 7 turnovers. So on paper, the box score looks fine. The box score numbers for Booker looks fine, but it really wasn't the case. It was not a good night for Devin Booker. I think even he knew that, which again is another reason why Kevin Durant was huge, and Grayson Allen. If it wasn't for those two, this would have been like a 30-point blowout. Thank goodness for them. Did I miss anything from the game? This was what I wanted to talk about last night, and I sort of did in like a short version, but I kind of dove more into the stats this time and things that I saw and takeaways. Now, I'm going to try to go about the controversy, you know, the Suns-Lakers timeout controversy a little differently. Because let's be real, it's close. I mean, it's been like a day or a night, 24 hours, however long it's been, 12 hours. It's been a while. We've all had time to sleep on it. We've all had time to analyze it. I'm going to go about it a different way here and just kind of refresh some things that I saw trending. And again, we're going to hear from Frank Vogel. We're going to hear from Devin Booker. I just kind of want to just show you guys things that I saw that I feel like are important. Because let's be real, everything by now has been said. Everything by now has been posted. So that's why I'm just going to kind of try to go about it a different way. That way I'm still covering the controversial, you know, event, whatever you want to call it. We're going to do that. John, last thing on Booker, says, Book has proven his ability to be a primary facilitator, in my opinion. Exactly. Same here, because I used to not be a fan of Point Book. Now, I am a fan of Point Book. He's been great. But the Lakers D forced him into bad decisions. I credit LA before I knock Book. That's fair. That's a great take. And I do agree. But I just wish it wasn't on a night like the in-season tournament night, you know. But I do agree with you. You are right. And again, 110% credit goes to the Lakers defense. Shout out to the Lakers defense. I thought I would never say that. And yes, John, your comment on KD, definitely going to get to that. But it's funny. Okay, before we get to the KD thing, because KD kind of was low-key right. Before we get to that, though, I actually want to start with a tweet that I saw here. Shout out to Dev in the Lab, who had a really good video here and sort of a breakdown and analysis. Then we're going to get to Vogel, Booker, KD, etc. Because, again, KD kind of was legit right, whether Suns fans want to admit it or not. Okay. So again, shout out to, if I can get this to work, here we go. Shout out to Dev in the Lab. Post a video on his Twitter. I love this. And he says, in-season tournament is cooked. Let me get a better look here. Oops, I got to fix something too. Let's put this down here. Yeah, let's go controversial call. Okay, cool. So yeah, he goes, in-season tournament is cooked. And we're going to listen to him right now and what he saw from this play.
It's a 2-point game. 10 seconds left. Austin Reeves is busting it down. He loses the ball. The ball is completely loose. LeBron signals for a timeout. The ref doesn't call it. It rolls a little bit more. And then a ref calls a timeout. The game is cooked. It's a 2-point game. 10 seconds left. Austin Reeves is busting it down. He loses the ball. The ball is completely loose. LeBron signals for a timeout. The ref doesn't call it. It rolls a little bit more. And then a ref calls a timeout. The game is cooked.
Okay. I thought that was kind of a good, short little explanation, if you will. But before, you know what? I was going to start with Frank Vogel. But John kind of reminded me, I actually think we need to start with KD. And I actually got to pull it up real quick because I thought I had it linked, but I don't have it linked. But KD was right. Now, I don't know if KD said this because he maybe he was trying to defuse things, maybe he knew Suns fans were going to be outraged. I don't know if he's just saying this because he's his basketball IQ is off the charts. I mean, it's Kevin Durant, he's done this night in and night out for multiple years. And again, he's won championships, been in big games. So I do want to actually start off with KD. I was going to start off with Frank Vogel, but we're going to start off with KD here. And I think he's right. I'm going to put on my headphones for this because it's like a 2-minute thing. But KD's right here. So look, I know Suns fans are outraged. And, we're probably going to be talking about this for another week, and it will be another one of those storylines from the season. Yada, 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 right? But just listen to KD here, Suns fans. Listen to KD. Just listen to our superstar player, please. Let's just hear KD out here for a minute. Because, you know what? At the end of the day, Kevin Durant's kind of right. Listen to KD here.
Guys get the trap, it's like a turnover. Grayson saves it, but they get it granted the timeout. How'd you see it from your perspective?
I couldn't really see the ball being out. I still thought he had it, but then I looked at the replay. It was out a little bit, but that's not the game. That's one play. It's a 48-minute game. And I don't like complaining about calls. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes the ref ain't going to get it right all the time. Sometimes it's on us to play through all of that stuff and not worry about putting the game in the ref's hands. So, I didn't get to see the play as it was happening, but the replay, it is what it is. But we can't put ourselves in that position. The game.
Real quick, guys, as you can see John's comment here, real quick, let's just replay what Kevin Durant said here. And again, this is Kevin Durant saying this, and I'm going to kind of side with KD here.
It's a 48-minute game. I don't like complaining about calls. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes the ref ain't going to get it right all the time. Sometimes it's on us to play through all of that stuff and not worry about putting the game in the ref's hands. So, I didn't get to see the play as it was happening, but the replay, it is what it is, though. We can't put ourselves in that position.
Book said maybe it hurt a little bit more because of the effort that you all exuded, and then to have that sort of happen at the end. Where do you fall in terms of, you said that's not when you lost the game? Was it sort of having to come back early?
That's just a part of the game. I mean, everybody not gonna get every call right, just like we're not gonna get every shot right. We're not gonna make every decision right, so we can't rely on that. It's not the reason we lost the game. I think they shot probably 20 more shots than us. We had like 22 turnovers. That's the game. That's what we should be talking about. And I can't have 5 turnovers and only 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Like,
Hold on, y'all. KD said it again. I know it's kind of hard to hear, but KD said another great thing.
Every call right, just like we're not gonna get every shot right. We're not gonna make every decision right, so we can't rely on that. It's not the reason we lost the game.
That's not the reason we lost the game. And then he talks about the turnovers and stuff right here.
They shot probably 20 more shots than us. We had like 22 turnovers. That's the game.
That's the game.
I can't have 5 turnovers and only 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Like, I gotta be better. Like, we all gotta just be better. Can't put that on the rail.
You guys were down 4 right before that play took place. Did you execute how you wanted to in terms of getting the quick 2 and then the trap? Is that what you guys wanted to do? Or?
What was the score?
We're down 4 with like 17.
Yeah, the trap cut it to 2, and then AD got the 2 free throws.
Yeah, we executed. We were just trying to get a bucket. You know, we wanted to get a 3-pointer, but we didn't get one up. So we just trying to score and put more pressure on them at the free throw line. I said the shot tied up at the end. I just had the ball bounce sometimes. You know, it's not going to always be in our favor. You know, we just got to keep playing through it. I think all night we did that. We were down early. They were kicking our ass on the offensive board, turning the ball over, and just looked grim for us. But I think we was able to come out in that third quarter, and they're not a good third quarter team, so we took advantage of that and was able to make it a game.
Again, you guys, listen to Kevin Durant. Shout out to Dwayne Rankin, by the way. Does great coverage, you know, for Arizona Republic or Central, whatever it's called. Shout out to him, man. He does great work. And Kevin Durant is right. But again, because I'm trying to take you guys through the coverage that I saw and all that. I will say this, even though I do think Kevin Durant is right. Let's listen to Frank Vogel here, okay? Let's give Frank Vogel, our head coach, by the way, a chance. Because even though I keep saying KD's right, KD this, KD blah, 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 Frank Vogel kind of makes a good point here. So I'm going to share this tab. This was uploaded by Oh No He Didn't 24. But I like the audio on this one here. So yeah, let's listen to Frank Vogel because KD's right and everything, but Frank Vogel makes a great point too.
I mean, it's a loose ball, and you know the ball's out, and they call timeout on a loose ball. You can't call timeout on a loose ball. Can't do it. So if the whistle blows, I don't know why. You know, everything in the league is reviewable. I don't know why that can't be reviewable. I know it's not a foul or an out of bounds, which is like a challenge. Okay, but at any point in the game, the whistle blows. Okay, inadvertently, the ref can huddle up and say inadvertent whistle. Okay, where were we at during the game? Okay, and that did not happen. So, extremely disappointing. I mean, it's a loose ball, and you know the ball's out, and they call timeout on a loose ball. You can't call timeout on a loose ball. Can't do it. So if the whistle blows, I don't know why. You know, everything in the league is reviewable. I don't know why that can't be reviewable. I know it's not a foul or an out of bounds, which is like a challenge. Okay, but at any point in the game, the whistle blows. Okay, inadvertently, the ref can huddle up and say inadvertent whistle. Okay, where were we at during the game? Okay, and that did not happen. So, extremely disappointing. I mean, it's a loose ball, and
also one more Frank Vogel clip here. And before I pull it up, I don't blame Frank Vogel for being upset here. I really don't. Because clearly you can tell he was upset. Which, again, I don't blame him for. This one was uploaded by Ben Golliver. I actually saw this before I went live. I just think it's good to kind of get a coach's perspective, if you will, from this. Don't worry. Like I said, you guys, still lots more to come. You know, we're going to talk about Bradley Beal and everything, but Again, this is more of the upset Frank Vogel, and I mean, he was pretty upset in the last clip too. And this does come from Ben Golliver. So yeah, let's continue to listen to head coach Frank Vogel.
Clarify, what was their explanation? You said it wasn't a good one. Did they say
So they can't review it.
Yeah, they didn't say
Nothing about it is reviewable.
And you disagree because it was an inadvertent whistle?
Yeah, I mean, you see it all the time. Inadvertent whistle. Okay, take it out on the side, or nobody had the ball, jump ball. You know what I mean? I mean, Grayson Allen's going to grab it and lay it in. Okay, and we got possession in a scramble situation. We lost the game that way this year. Okay, we're ready to tie the game up, and that opportunity was taken away from us.
Clarify, what was their explanation? You said it wasn't a good one. Did they say
So they can't review it.
Yeah, they didn't say
Nothing about it is reviewable.
And you disagree because it was an inadvertent whistle?
Yeah, I mean, you see it all the time. Inadvertent whistle. Okay, take it out on the side, or nobody had the ball, jump ball. You know what I mean? I mean, Grayson Allen's going to grab it and lay it in. Okay, and we got possession in a scramble situation. We lost the game that way this year. Okay, we're ready to tie the game up, and that opportunity was taken away from us.
So yeah, you can tell Frank Vogel not happy at all. And I know you guys probably saw this clip by now. Devin Booker, because I feel like out of all the clips, I feel like this one specifically went viral. And you can tell Booker's pretty, calmly upset, if you will, if that's even a thing, calmly upset. You guys get my point. Booker's chill. He knows how to handle himself. He knows how to handle the media. And I'll just say this. He handled it a lot better than I would have, or probably a lot of us would have. But yeah, here's Devin Booker after the game.
Pretty fast there, but maybe just take me through you guys get the trap, ball scrambling.
I know what you're trying to do. The whole world seeing it.
I love that.
Social media and other players around the league seeing it. So it is what it is. Refs miss calls sometimes, but when they're a bit that obvious, it's tough.
And obviously, with you and Kevin both having 5 fouls, you guys were taking but it was desperation that you do whatever you can. What was the explanation that you heard from the refs? Why you
didn't get one?
Okay.
They didn't get one? What?
The Lakers saying maybe you had fouled him prior to that. Was there
any
contact?
My hands were back. Reeves tried to draw a foul, and once we bumped into each other, I think he was trying to get the ball back since then. And, that's a good 3, 4, 5 seconds to build up before LeBron grabbed the referee and called the timeout.
You guys had the big comeback in the second half right out of halftime. Does it hurt worse to kind of have this game decided by, a tournament game and all that?
Yeah. When they put so much anticipation on the game, we're not asking for favoritism, just a fair chance. And even before the game, in the pregame huddles as a team, we'd come in and be like, we understand what type of game it's going to be. Just keep playing all the way through it. And we continue to play uphill battle the whole time, and, to watch it unfold like that stuff.
Good time. What explanation did you give them when they did that call?
I said he didn't have the ball. You can't call a timeout there. I don't know if it's something that the refs can come together on and decide. I mean, that still takes away our layup opportunity, but it's still better than giving them the ball back.
Did they offer any response when you?
No, it. They just look at you back in that situation.
Coach was saying that they told him that the play couldn't be reviewed after all the things that are reviewable. When it's an end of game situation, shouldn't that be an automatic?
Yeah, I think so. And that wasn't the only one. Reeves was the first one to touch the ball from out of bounds on the baseline. I was hit in the head a couple of times that are usually an extra flagrant free throw, and just wasn't there.
When you look.
All right. So again, shout out to Dwayne Rankin and Ben Golliver, for those clips. Shout out to them. Especially Dwayne Rankin does great work. He travels to all the other cities and stuff and covers the team, from afar, which is really helpful for us Suns fans and Suns podcasters and creators and all that. So shout out to him. Also, I don't have the clip, but LeBron James commented on it. And LeBron said, and I quote, "I feel like Book kind of pushed up on him a little bit, made Austin Reeves stumble. As soon as I saw Austin Reeves start to stumble a bit, I started to make the motion and the voice to the referee that that was closest to me for a timeout. After that, I mean, I heard them, the commotion, the ball was loose or whatever the case may be, but my direction was right towards the referee to get us a timeout for sure. That's what LeBron James said. And to kind of put a bow on this Suns Lakers controversial timeout call, you know, because again, I meant to do all of this last night and go over it, but now that I've had time to sleep on it, we've gotten more quotes and interviews and last 2-minute reports. This is going to kind of put the bow on it. And I forget the actual writer here, but this does come from Yahoo Sports, and I absolutely love how this is worded. You know, as Monty Williams once said, well done is better than well said. This is from Yahoo Sports. The NBA and Commissioner Adam Silver were looking to generate buzz with the new in-season tournament. It's safe to say this isn't the type of buzz they were seeking. Amen. Hallelujah. I want to read that again because it's just so perfectly worded. The NBA and Commissioner Adam Silver were looking to generate buzz with the new in-season tournament. It's safe to say this isn't the type of buzz they were seeking. Great job, Yahoo Sports. Great job. Also, shout out to Sam Cooper from the Timeline podcast, who had a tweet who said, hold refs accountable and fix this shit. Amen to that. Speaking of Twitter, speaking of Suns fans raging and stuff, another great tweet here. Kind of two tweets, actually, from the same account. Let me just sort of zoom in here. And you know, I saw a tweet kind of similar to this, and I'm sure there was like plenty of tweets like this, but sort of two tweets here from Suns Are Better on Twitter. Go give him a follow. Great follow, by the way. He says, I'm not a fan of blaming officials for a loss. I think it's used as a scapegoat far too often. This was genuinely awful. One-sided in favor of the Lakers, of course, officiating. The Suns got robbed. But then he had another tweet. I don't know if I have it linked or anything, but he went on to say this. The benefit of the Suns losing the in-season tournament. Again, this is Suns Are Better who tweeted this. The benefit of the Suns losing the in-season tournament. More time to get right up until Tuesday. They only have one game on Friday. We all know this team desperately needs that. Let's hope that means only one more game without Bradley Beal. So shout out to him. I thought that was a really good tweet. Also, speaking of tweets, I thought this was funny right here. Shout out to Trevor Paxton, who, let me pull up the screen because for some reason it's not working. Trevor Paxton had this hilariously yet awesome jersey design. And he goes on to say, in the wake of whatever the end of the game that was, I figured I'd drop a new jersey concept. You really showed your hand tonight at NBA official. And he says, the Los Angeles Lakers, quote, rigged edition, designed by Trevor Paxton. I'm sorry. I love that. You guys can call me biased. You can call me a homer. I love that jersey. It's so good. That's so good, man. Shout out to Trevor Paxton. Had to show that. All right, guys. Before we talk about Bradley Beal, I know this is kind of random, but I heard on the broadcast last night that the Suns are last in fast break points at 10.4 a game, and I wrote that down. I'm like, yep, I'm going to talk about that. We definitely need to improve on that. Also, I wanted to read a comment, if I can find it, before we get to the Bradley Beal stuff. Ronald says, Frank Vogel needs to adjust to small ball to big. We are beaten 3 times, and those 3 games were all close games, but we lose on rebounds, second chance points, turnovers, force their hand by great defense. Let me just say I don't disagree with you, but I will say sometimes it's matchup dependent, but I also saw some things go around like we might need to address the center position. And look, I love Nurkic, and prior to last night's game, he had a couple great games, and I think he's been pretty good all season. He's been durable all season, by the way. I'm not a big baseball fan, you guys, but there was just a big baseball trade. I don't even know who these people are. The New York Yankees have acquired superstar outfielder Juan Soto. Did I pronounce that right? In a trade from the San Diego Padres, sources tell ESPN. Yankees now get to pair Soto and Aaron Judge in the outfield. Cool. Welcome to the Suns Geek MLB show for all your latest MLB news. But anyways, what was I talking about? Nurkic? Yeah. I think he's been pretty good, y'all. But yeah, I do think maybe the center position might need to be addressed in the future. I'm still not giving up on Drew Eubanks yet, although he hasn't been that good. Definitely the offensive rebounding needs to be addressed. And plain and simple, Kevin Durant said it. I said it. We just need to be better. I know we're not going to go 82-0. We're not going to win every game from here on out. I get it. But the Phoenix Suns need to be better. We need to be better, y'all. Better on offense, better on defense. Frank Vogel and his coaching staff need to be better. Devin Booker has to be better. So, wanted to read that comment. All right, y'all. Let's maybe get to something positive here. Bradley Beal. And I heard Suns Jam talking about this last night. So again, shout out to them. But we had a few updates on Bradley Beal. By the way, while I'm talking about this, I will actually play you guys a clip. Now, there was a couple ones that were uploaded, but again, this comes from Dwayne Rankin. This was Bradley Beal during warmups. I don't know how good the footage is necessarily, but I'll let you guys watch it while I'm like talking to you guys about the updates and everything. Oh, wow. The Diamondbacks just made a trade too. What the heck's going on in the MLB? Oh, that's cool. Anyways, cool. All right. I'm totally distracted now. Yeah, Bradley Beal. What is going on? What is happening with my life right now? You guys okay? Are you guys having a good day? I want to know how you guys are doing. Let me know how your guys' day was. Anyways. All right. So while I'm talking about this and trying to gather my thoughts, you guys can watch Bradley Beal, warm up. Now, again, this was before the Suns-Lakers game, because obviously he's in LA. But we do have a Bradley Beal update. Finally. Hallelujah. Thank goodness. And hopefully it's a good and productive and real update. Bradley Beal is making progress towards his return. Now, they were interviewing Frank Vogel and everything before last night's game. And Frank Vogel said, and I quote, "No concerns regarding Beal's recovery, and he is making progress towards a return." He also said, and I quote, "We feel like he's going to get back to full strength soon." Bradley Beal's averaging 17 points per game and has not played since November 12th. Now, Shams Charania of The Athletic sort of has a show. I think it's with like Chandler Parsons and a few other people. It's called like The Rally. Now, it's funny because I believe this was 2 hours. I believe it was 2 hours after the Frank Vogel stuff. I want to say that. And I will say this about Shams Charania, because sometimes it's hard to believe. It's like, oh, I don't know if I should believe Woj. I don't know if I should believe, Shams Charania, whoever, right? I will say this. The last time Shams Charania had an update like this, and I remember making videos about it, Shams was kind of right. So here's what Shams Charania had to say on his show, The Rally. There's a 29-second clip here. Let me just share this tab. Let me make sure we're looking good. Okay, cool. We're looking good. yeah, so here's what Shams Charania had to say on Bradley Beal. You guys can kind of see the tweet here, but here's what Shams had to say.
So he was shut down about 3 weeks ago. He's going to be reevaluated later this week. And I'm told Beal has started his ramp-up process, and he's continuing to progress in that ramp-up. And the goal is for him to track toward a return soon, potentially over the next 10 days, as long as the progress continues. But we know it's been a fluid process with this back. The back can be something that you have to be cautious with, and the Suns have been. They're playing for a championship. They're playing for the second half of the season.
So yeah, that's what Shams Charania said, like I believe 2 hours before the game. You know, that, and I feel like that's a good positive update that the ramp up process has started. The goal is for him to be back on track potentially over the next 10 days and a return soon. So, you know, now that would be what, 9 days, 8 days or whatever from now. So hopefully that's good, positive news. And look, maybe I'm a little optimistic here. And yes, you could clearly tell, like, when Bradley Beal's back was hurting him when he did play. But I will say there was times in the games that he played where he looked at least 75%. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of where I'm hopeful and optimistic is just, even if, you know, first off, when and if Bradley Beal does come back, I think it's going to take a game or two, you know what I mean? Because let's be real, it's been a few weeks now, and so it literally does, you know, take a while to get kind of your legs under you and get back in the feel of things. But even if we get like a Bradley Beal who's 75% for a couple of games, and we have KD and we have Booker, I mean, the possibilities are endless. The anticipation and the potential of this team, it's exciting stuff. Because again, I keep going back, and I know it was preseason, I know it was against the Pistons and they stink and everything, but didn't we have like 48 points in the first quarter? You know, with those three on the court? I don't know. I'm just saying. I'm excited. I hope Bradley Beal does come back. And not only come back, but I hope he stays back. I hope the back is 110% healed and ready to go. And I just hope we're also healthy as well. You know, that Beal's healthy, Durant's healthy, et cetera, et cetera. So come back soon, Bradley Beal, and make sure you come back 110%. My guy John says that that's the Oh, sorry, let me just fix my screen here. That's the challenge. I'm happy where I am at, but I could be happier. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was a comment about Bradley Beal. Sorry, y'all. I did ask how your guys' day was going, so we'll get that at the end of the show. But for some reason, I thought that was a Bradley Beal comment. I don't know. I'm losing it. All right, y'all. One more thing before we get out of here. One more thing I did want to talk about before we'll read your guys' comments about your day and everything. So I believe this started from a tweet that Twitter user Easy Sunny. No, excuse me. The original tweet came from Twitter user Alex7RX. And then it was quote tweeted. L Soul says, laughing at Suns Geek trying to read your comment. I was thrown off, y'all. I thought that was a Bradley Beal conversation. Hey, you know what, though? That's what makes these live shows so, you know, unique and in real time, you know? That's what makes these shows fun. I mean, we are getting Bradley Beal. Oh, boy, says my man. Manuel, appreciate you being here, brother. I do see all your comments, and I appreciate your optimism, and I love that you comment and continue to watch the show. Appreciate you, man. All right. Staying focused here. So, yeah, like I mentioned, I believe this next segment here, Phoenix Suns future draft picks, because, yes, we do have some. It may not seem like it, we do. Twitter user Alex7RX tweeted this out yesterday. And then it was quote tweeted, and then it was quote tweeted. And I was like, ooh, that'd be a good segment for a show. So again, you see the bottom tweet here. He says, apparently the Suns have first rounder this year, ? It's a pick swap, but a first rounder. I don't know if I was being deceived or not, but if it's true, could be important. And then Twitter user Easy Sunny Sniper followed up with, we got first round picks in 24, 26, 28, and 30, but they're all pick swaps. Keywords there, but they're all pick swaps. Biggest misconception on this app is that the Suns don't have any this decade. Considering how expensive our roster is moving forward with the new CBA, we got to knock those picks out the park. And I liked that tweet. I clicked like on it. But then there was a follow-up tweet from somebody who I really love and respect. And he's a great listen. He's a great follow. AZ Sports Zone, formerly known, continually known as Zona Hoops. I like to call him Zona Hoops. Had a great tweet here. The Suns draft outlook, because he quote tweeted, Easy Sunny Sniper's tweet. Suns draft outlook. 2024 is the least favorable of own pick, Wizards or Grizzlies, and then continues on. 26, least favorable of own pick, Wizards or Magic, etc., etc. You guys can read the tweet right there. Least favorable of own pick, pretty much, and they are pick swaps from the Wizards, Grizzlies, Wizards, Magic, etc., etc. Translation: they will have a pick every other year in the first round. Where it is, I think he meant to say where it is out of their control. So let's just focus on the bottom part there. Translation: the Suns will and do have future picks in the first round every other year, but where it will land is out of their control. I loved all three of those tweets. From the guy that originally tweeted it, from Easy Sunny Sniper's tweet to Zona's tweet here. So yes, that's kind of the last segment here, if you will, is that we do have future draft picks. And I felt like it would be a fun little reminder to remind Suns fans, hey, we have picks. So what I'm going to do now, Suns fans, is give you guys a minute here to, let me know about your day. Let me know if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns. I'll give you guys a minute or so to get your comments, questions, concerns in. Let me know how your day was. Let me know what's going on in your life. For those of you who celebrate the holidays and Christmas, are you guys ready for Christmas? Oh, that's cool. It shows me on the bottom there, kind of live on Twitter as well. Follow me on Twitter, by the way. But now I'm going to try to properly read some of these comments from earlier while you guys are getting this in. So get your comments, questions in right now. El Sol says, how was your day? I don't know if he's asking me, but my day was pretty good. A lot better than last night. Let me tell you that much. My guy, John from the Suns Jam Session podcast said, I had a job interview today. I have so many major life decisions ahead of me, and I'm trying not to freak out. Fork in the road moment. So to decompress, I came to hang with my Suns homies. Well, John, from the bottom of my heart, my man, I hope everything goes well. Best wishes moving forward. And your coverage on Bright Side of the Sun and Suns Jam Session is amazing. Keep up the great work, and I hope it works out for you. El Sol says, all I want for Christmas is Bradley Beal, baby. Amen to that. Please come back healthy, Bradley Beal. And then here was the comment I butchered because I thought it was like a Bradley Beal comment earlier. John says, that's the challenge. I'm happy where I'm at, but I could be happy where I could be going as well. With more career growth opportunities, I don't know. Crying emoji. I like how you worded that, John. I'm happy where I'm at, but I could be happier where I could be going. John is so philosophical. I like that. It's great. All right, let's see. Let's get to some final comments, questions, and concerns here. Get them in now before the show ends. I'll probably go for about like 5 more minutes, y'all. Let's see. Ooh, good question from NBA One Day. And I feel like I kind of talked about this with Matthew Lissy on the Suns Jam Session podcast. He says, does D-Book still have a chance to win MVP? That's a great question. And it's kind of hard to answer, too, because, I mean, obviously, you know, it's Jokic and Luka and Giannis and who am I forgetting? Kevin Durant's obviously in the conversation. But I guess my Devin Booker MVP hype has been more fully focused on he should be in the conversation. Does he still have a chance? Absolutely. But again, does he need to play better in big games? Yes. So I do think he does have a chance. And when he has played, has he been great? Has he been an MVP candidate? Yes. But unfortunately, does he need to be better? Yes. But again, I don't want to put like unrealistic expectations on D-Book. I mean, he's not going to average like a triple double, although he flirts with a lot of triple doubles. You know, but again, there's Jokic and Luka and Giannis and et cetera, Kevin Durant, guys I'm probably forgetting talking about. But yes, Booker does still have a chance to win MVP. Ooh, and by the way, I mentioned this in a YouTube short. I believe Gerald Bourguet tweeted about it, that because Bradley Beal has missed 18 games and more, that he is no longer, he is ineligible to, you know, he can't win any NBA awards pretty much. That sucks, you know. All good, best time of the year, blessings. It is the best time of the year, y'all. It's the holidays. You guys can see, I don't know if you guys can see, I got a couple Suns, Christmas, and Mario things back up here. Got the lights going. I might change these to red and green and all that. You know, there's multiple sports going on, the NBA, football, college football, etc. It's a great time of year. It's cold outside. It's great. All right, y'all. I think that's pretty much it. This was a good show. And I, again, even though I didn't need to apologize, I do apologize for last night, but I'm glad I did this show because it gave me time to not only sleep on it, but again, to kind of get more reactions, to get more feedback. It gave the NBA time to kind of go over their last 2-minute report and everything. And it's just good to have this platform to, you know, talk to you guys and engage with you guys and to let you know what's going on in the latest with the Suns and the news and everything and Bradley Beal and all that. So this was a great show. I'm glad I did this show, y'all. And thank you to everybody who tuned in live. And even if you're watching later, even if you're watching like 3 days from now, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate any and all support. There obviously is great Suns coverage out there. There's great podcasts and people that do great work out there. But the fact you guys continue to support me, that's the biggest Christmas gift I could ever ask for. And I'm serious, you guys. Like, you guys allow me to do other things outside of my life. You guys allow me to, like, you know, have a day off, if you will. And it's all because you guys just continue to watch. So I do want to encourage you guys to subscribe, but even if you're not subscribed, please keep watching. Just like the troll in the chat, you know, he's clearly a Lakers fan. He's always trolling in the chat, but hey, he's watching. Appreciate you, appreciate anybody who's watching. I know that sometimes I get into comment battles with people in the comments, but you know, it's all love at the end of the day, y'all. So anyways, I'll answer one more question before I get out of here. First off, from Suns Fever. Another great show, Geek. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm not going to get into full detail about this. Maybe I will one day, but not right now. I'll just kind of give the short version. He says, I don't know if I've ever heard your story, but what made you a Suns fan even though you don't live in AZ? So first off, I've been a basketball fan for as long as I can remember. That's an understatement. It's funny because when I was a little kid, I actually started playing soccer. And I remember I scored a wrong goal and stopped playing after that. You know, I scored on the other goal, if you will. And then I don't know, I just fell in love with the game. And I grew up, you know, in the 90s, and I've studied the history of basketball. Like, to the side of me on the floor right here, like I have basketball books and NBA history books and Suns books. So I've studied it all. I've watched countless basketball games and shows and stuff. I just love basketball. And, you know, I lived in Phoenix for decades, and I'm not going to talk fully about it, but in 2020, I did move to Memphis, Tennessee. And, you know, real life happens. I like to just word it as real life comes first, and sometimes you got to do what you got to do. Maybe one day we'll talk about it. One more thing before we get out of here, y'all. I have a question. It's sort of random because I know you guys subscribe for the Suns news and updates and everything, and I am grateful for you guys for that. But I have a question. John, if you're still watching, I actually might contact you about this. Would you guys want to see a video of me talking about what I think it takes to become a Suns creator, podcaster in 2024, like one of those kind of videos? Because I feel like you know, first off, since we're kind of talking about the history here, like my history, for those of you who may not know, I've done YouTube videos since like 2013. And I've been talking about the Suns consistently since around that time. Now, obviously, the quality's gotten a lot better. You know, those videos back then are cringe, but I've been doing this a long time. So even though I'm not like a podcaster, I do know a lot about YouTube and how to start a channel and be consistent and all that. And I was thinking, I was like, oh man, that'd be a good video idea. Like, make a video talking about what I think, because let's be real. It seems like every day there's a new Suns podcast or a new Suns thing. And that's great. You know, that's awesome. But I feel like I could give my advice and lessons and my outlook on saying, hey, you want to start a Suns channel or a podcast? Here's what I think you should do. And John, I was thinking of reaching out to you and maybe getting you featured on there to hear what it is from a podcast perspective and how to be consistent with it. Let me know if you guys want to see that. I something is on my heart about that, and I might do it. On that note, y'all, I'm out of here. This was an excellent show. This was probably one of my favorite shows I've done in a long time. Stay tuned for more, y'all. Like I mentioned at the very beginning of the show, if for some reason I don't go live, I'm going to at least try to get you guys some kind of a video. Even if it's just me like holding up my phone being like, hey guys, here's what I thought of the game. So, all right, y'all, I'm out of here. I love you guys. God bless you guys. Stay safe. Have a great holiday season if you celebrate. Be kind to people. Be patient with people. And I really mean be patient. Spread the love, y'all. And as Suns Fever says, smash the like button. Yes, crush the like button. Keep on watching. Keep on listening. I love you guys. Comments are funny right now. Much respect and love to all of you guys. I'm going to get out of here before the comments gets too crazy. I don't know what's going on in the chat. Last comment here from NBA One Day, who says, thanks for the lit stream, brother. Catch you next time. Go Suns. Yes, go Suns. God bless you guys. Stay safe. Peace out. If it has to deal with the Phoenix Suns, I'm going to make a video about it. Please subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Go Suns.